Some divorces break your heart, but narcissistic divorces can break your sense of reality. And that is why therapy can become one of the most important forms of support during the divorce process. Divorcing a narcissist. A lot of people underestimate how psychologically damaging divorce can be, especially when the relationship involved manipulation, gaslighting, control, emotional abuse, or constant conflict. Because some divorces break your heart, but narcissistic divorces can break your sense of reality. And that is why therapy can become one of the most important forms of support during the divorce process. Here's why divorce impacts people so deeply. Number one, divorce is a form of grief. Even when leaving is the right decision, you're still grieving the relationship, the future you imagined, the family structure, stability, trust, routines, and sometimes your identity. A lot of people think grief only happens when you miss someone, but grief also happens when life changes completely. Number two, narcissistic relationships often create trauma. Many people leave these relationships feeling emotionally confused, anxious, hypervigilant, emotionally drained, disconnected from themselves, and unable to trust their own judgment. There is even emotional damage done, and it doesn't disappear overnight. But because the relationship ended, especially after years of manipulation and emotional instability, it's going to take time. High conflict divorce keeps the stress active. One of the hardest parts about narcissistic divorce is that healing often gets interrupted by ongoing conflict, court dates, arguments, parenting disputes, financial stress, hostile communication. Your nervous system rarely gets a chance to rest, which is why emotional support becomes so important during the process. Here's how therapy can help. Number one, therapy helps rebuild clarity. A good therapist can help you recognize manipulation patterns, process emotional abuse, rebuild your confidence. They can help regulate your emotions, strengthen boundaries, reduce trauma responses, and reconnect you with yourself. Because healing is not just about leaving the relationship, it is about rebuilding afterwards. Number two, your lawyer and therapist serve different roles. A lot of people expect legal victories to heal emotional wounds, but those are two separate things. Your lawyer protects your legal position, your therapist helps protect your emotional health. One cannot replace the other, and both can become important during high conflict divorce. And that's one of the things we do at our firm that is unique. We provide complimentary divorce coaches to all our clients. Our coaches are not working as therapists, but they're there to provide them the emotional support, while the lawyer, then the legal team, focus on the legal journey. Our coach helps them with the emotional support as well. Therapy can help you make better decisions. When people are emotionally overwhelmed, they are more likely to make decisions based on fear. They're more likely to make decisions from exhaustion, guilt, anger, or emotional pressure. Therapy can help create emotional stability, and emotional stability often leads to better long-term decisions, especially during stressful negotiations or conflict. Now let's talk about healing after the relationship. Therapy helps break unhealthy patterns. One of the most important parts of healing is understanding what behavior becomes normalized, why red flags were overlooked, how boundaries weakened over time, and what healthy relationships actually look like. Because healing is not only about surviving the relationship, it is about making sure you do not lose yourself in another one. And this happens more times than you would think. Intuitively, you would think if someone's leaving an emotionally abusive relationship or a relationship with a narcissist, she would or he would stay so far clear from anyone who remotely looks like that again. But in fact, subconsciously, people are often drawn right back to someone like that because that's what they know. They've normalized in their head the abusive relationship. They think that that's what they are worth because their self-esteem and self-worth has been so extinguished in the relationship. It's a subconscious reaction that people in abusive relationships often have. And if they have children growing up in that environment, then it becomes generational trauma because their kids are often then drawn to that type of relationship as well. You do not need to wait until you're falling apart for therapy. A lot of people delay therapy because they think asking for help means weakness. It does not. Therapy is not about being broken. It's about support. And during a narcissistic divorce, believe me, support really matters. Number 3, emotional recovery takes time. Healing is rarely linear. Some days you feel strong, other days you feel exhausted, angry, emotional, or overwhelmed. That does not mean you're failing. It means you're healing, and healing deserves patience. In closing, divorcing a narcissist can affect far more than just your legal situation. It can affect your confidence, your nervous system, your emotional health, and your ability to feel safe again. This is why therapy during divorce is not about weakness. It is about making sure the divorce does not emotionally destroy you while you're trying to rebuild your life again. And in our next video, we're going to talk about something many people are unprepared for: life after divorce, what healing actually looks like, why rebuilding can feel overwhelming, and what nobody tells you about starting over after a toxic relationship. I'll tell you next time. I'll see you then.